hippie hut down a country road. There's a girl named Jonesy with a carefree soul. She's got chickens in the yard, running wild and free, and she's rolling up her life in a sweet green dream. Jonesy in her hippie hut, life's a breeze, smoking that good stuff, feeling so at ease, with the chickens clucking and the sun so bright. Jonesy's living in her own kind of life. She wakes up with the sunrise, no shoes on her feet, dancing in the garden to a reggae beat. She's got a peace sign hanging on her front porch swing, and a big old smile for everything. Jonesy in her hippie hut, life's a breeze, smoking that good stuff, feeling so at ease, with the chickens clucking and the sun so bright. Jonesy's living in her own kind of life. She's got no worries, just the earth and sky, living her life, no need to try, with a heart full of love and a head full of dreams. Jonesy's riding on life's sweet stream. Jonesy in her hippie hut, life's a breeze, smoking that good stuff, feeling so at ease, with the chickens clucking and the sun so bright. Jonesy's living in her own kind of life. So if you ever feel lost or caught in a bind, just think of Jonesy and you'll surely find that the simple life's the one that's truly free, in a hippie hut, just like Jonesy's, you see.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, shit. Why did my brand change? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold the hell up. Hold up. Swote up. That's not what I had it set to. Hold on. No. Style. Why is it on a whole nother color? A whole nother color. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. There we go. Jeez Louise, why is my StreamYard reset? What the hell is going on here? Good morning, good morning. Oh my gosh, I set my stream for 10:30 p.m. I forgot to switch it from PM to AM. So my bad, y'all. My bad. Good morning, Shambles. Good morning, Mystery. A Mac talking smack, back attack, basement Jesus. I have my coffee and hatred for the general. Period, Pooh. I agree. Me too. I'm going to need a refill in my coffee in just a minute, though. StreamYard does hate me. It had all my stuff reset. Hold on. Did it just do it again? Why is the bubble purple? Why is Kate's bubble purple? What is going on? Did y'all just say that? It did it in real time. There. Hold on. That's not really the color I want. Jeez Louise. There we go. It just did that shit in real time. It just changed up on us. Hey, Queen Bella. Hey, Lady K. StreamYard is a little bitch. You know. Oh.
BTM needs to, BTM is a little bitch. How about that?
I agree, and so is StreamYard. It just matched. That's only. Oh, Let me pull up my Facebook because I gotta I sent myself a DM. It goes down in the DMs. It goes down in the DMs. It go. Oh. Okay. It's Thursday, y'all. One more day. That's why I keep telling myself. One more motherfucking day. Just one. That's all we got to do. It's working folk. We just got to make it. Well, Monday through Friday, working folk. We got to make it one more day. Yes. Happy birthday, Queen Bella. Yes, girl. I just told you that in the Discord and I already forgot that quick. Look, my brain ain't there. Let's go. Happy birthday, girlfriend. Let's see. I wanted to see if I could find. I'm a very bad. Okay, no, hold on. That's not the right one. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Sorry, y'all. I'm preoccupied trying to get stuff going. I'd rather see men with. I know I still got more I need to make. I need to make some for men with a bunch of fine ass thirst trap women. And then I need to make different varieties and different colors, Okay. So we're going to go over Chloe drivers. I know I've already listened to these calls. I'm sure y'all have, but I figured why not just go live and talk shit about them? So I'm going to pull up the first one. And actually, we're going to watch this video first. Just for like a recap. Chloe Driver killed her daughter, stabbed her daughter, Hannah, to death. And this was the sentencing. Chloe Driver was a part of a cult, and this is her husband, quote unquote husband, and the cult leader. And this is him on the stand, not testifying, but giving his like victim impact statement. Let's go. Oh, let me slow that down.
B as in boy, E as in Edward, N as in Nancy, Y as in yellow, A as in apple, M as in Mary, I as in igloo, N as in Nancy. B as in boy, E as in Edward, N as in Nancy, hyphen, M as in Mary, I as in igloo, C as in cat, H as in hotel, A as in apple, E as in Edward, I as in igloo, L as in Lucy.
Now remember, this is the cult that drinks their own pee and shit. I mean, not shit, but you know what I'm saying. Drinks their own pee. Let me go. I'm going to let this plane go make my cup of coffee.
L Yahoo, I left out. E as in Edward, L as in Lucy, I as in igloo, Y as in yellow, A as in apple, H as in Harry, U as in useless.
Can you tell us what your relationship was to the victim in this case?
The victim was my daughter. Hannah Nicole, driver Ben Michael.
And Mr. Benjamin, I want you to, or Mr. Ben Michael, I want you to tell the judge about what Hannah was like in life.
645 days ago, I had the most beautiful living daughter on Monday, the 5th of December, 2020. She was dressed in a tiny, prescient little pea coat that was also colored pea, curry yellow. We were at a rest stop in McDowell, North Carolina, and I brought her toward her favorite thing, the arbors, in the middle of the rest stop where the grass was green and the trees were tall and the roots were old and ripped up. I like to call her Naima, which means pleasantness, and she was pleasant to all she came and encountered. The most pleasant.
What was her disposition and demeanor like?
While we stood at that tree, she counted every layer of the roots. She was 13 months old. She'd had a penchant for trees since she was a month and a half year old. She was sweet. There are babies that are planned. We know what the opposite of that is, but then there are babies that are planned. This child was deliberate, intentional, and the mental work of 2.5+ years prior to her 9.5 months in utero and her entrance into this world. There are a very special sister with 3 babies. And by the last one, Eliana, we came up with the term. There are forward-facing babies and not forward-facing babies. I have an older daughter who's estranged. You've heard about her named Eileen. She was not forward-facing baby.
There's those forward-facing babies.
Eileen cared about mommy and daddy. You put her head in your armpit and you were wherever you were, and that was not Hannah Nicole. Hannah Nicole was a forward-facing baby, meaning when you carried the baby, she needed to see everybody and smile at them.
Oh, we had this conversation in the Discord the other day. Nunya was like, I'm pretty sure he means like a car seat. Like she was a forward-facing baby, like the car seats where they're where it gets to the point where you can turn the car seat around and face the front of the car. I think it was either Lindsay or Andy. It was one of them, Landy, whatever. One of them said, no, he meant like she's a forward-facing baby because she wanted to see everything.
Everybody in the room, as if she almost had an innate nature of knowing that she had very limited time. She had to see everything. She'd get really, she'd let you know that she needed to be turned around if you were not holding her face forward-facing babies. My sister's little Eliana was like that. I learned to hold her that way. She wanted to be taken around. She wanted to count everything. And she was looking at those roots that day in her little coat. And she had her little curls.
Y'all make sure to hit the like for your girl.
That came over her hair. And that's my last really strong, close memory of holding my daughter, playing in those roots, those trees. Her disposition was just the sweetest baby. And I'm not saying that as biased dad. I've been around a lot of children. She was different. It's like she was hosting everybody she met. We would run. I wanted to bring the little Legos. So we would run. We would play. By the time she was 13 months old, she had a real thing for little cars. We'd chase them around the room together. I'd crawl with her. Beautiful. She was really weird looking. And some babies have this and some babies don't. Between like 4 months and 7 months, they're like growing. Some things are growing too fast. Some things are growing too slow.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at the situation. I know it's a terrible, tragic situation. But he just said that baby's weird looking. These folks have no filter at all. They're out of their fucking minds.
Too slow. By 13 months old, she was so beautiful.
Did you provide photographs that you'd like to?
I would like to, please. Yes, Katie.
You, Hannah?
Please. Please, the court.
She wanted.
This is me and Hannah together.
She wanted to see the world. Blessed be Nunya.
And approximately how long prior to her death was this photo?
About a few months. This is at a really beautiful, inexpensive hotel room in Clinton, Connecticut.
Giving them hell.
They have massive floor space for a hotel room like this. And we were chasing those little cars around all day, these little rev-up cars. So this would be the second week of August of 2020 when we were down with my family, as will be depicted more clearly in better photos coming. And my brother-in-law, Nathaniel,
she looks just like her mama.
and my sister and her 3 children were all here meeting their cousin. This is in May of 2020. This is the sand, the quartz sand of Siesta Key, Sarasota. And we were spending a lot of time there. We were spending time in Venice Beach, the adjacent smaller beaches, and we would come in her wagon. And you can see what she's doing. See, she's not a passive baby. She would grab the handle of the wagon and look at me like it was the most fun thing to get and smile at Daddy at Dover, just to smile into my eyes and say, look, I'm leading the wagon. She'd do it every day. She'd take hold of the handle and say, I steer this. This is my wagon. And this is in Clinton, Connecticut again. And you can see, if you want to see her nature, that's her nature.
Let me move these so y'all can see. Chloe looks so different. See, I only listened to this part. I think we listened to it in the Discord. I didn't watch it. I was listening while I was driving. So I didn't get to see these pictures. She looks totally different. Wow.
That's her nature.
Is she a happy baby?
She was excited and happy and engaging, and she'd come up to you and want to just learn everything. She'd want to touch you and smile. She'd want to get
she got a
beside
whole
you and let you
skirt
know
on.
that you should be happy too.
Good
Grandma
job.
threw a tennis ball a little too fast. What? Yeah, that's a picture from, a little bit of the
Oh, Dad threw the tennis ball a little too fast. What?
weirder period where some of the eyes are growing, things are growing a little too fast and out of line. And I know this is the preferred thumbnail for the court, but since she was looking a little silly, so that was probably back at about April of 2020. This is my parents' living room, where she would come up to this piano over here, and she had a knack, and she would start. I'd be playing piano. I've been playing piano since I was 3 years old, and I would ensconce her and encompass her in all my music, and she would come in the middle, near the middle C, and she would start doing things that actually made sense. And then she'd look at you, and
She got her braids did, y'all. Her braids
has an
did.
immense amount of musical talent, but she could never keep a beat. But she would come up with things. But Nim, Naima, Hannah Nicole, she could tell where the beat was. She knew where the beat of life was. She knew where to enter.
I mean, I'm kind of jealous, to be quite honest, because like I said, I can't even brush my tongue when I brush my teeth without
To
gagging.
the room. She knew where to look at you. She knew where the camera was.
And are those the cars that you spoke of she enjoyed playing with?
No, these are very little cars that you'd pull and they'd zoom around the room. This is actually a toy that I had.
They
going back to
do,
when I was a
don't they,
child,
Brain?
and it has a revolver inside, like a revolving scoop, and it goes around and it's funny. It like collects toys into its dump truck. This is a xylophone that was my sister's over here. Little cup. She rode that little Puma-mobile behind her everywhere in my parents' house, and she was amazing because sometimes as a mother you wanted to sleep a little bit more. She would. Chloe
I don't
would go
think
over,
so either,
She would
Stevie.
go over and she would open the bedroom door and lay back down, and she'd thunder down the hallway. She just crawled down because we had this whole area on the second floor, safe, the dogs in the kitchen, the stairs over here blocked, and she had this living room up the hallway to the bedrooms, and you'd hear her. My mom still imagines the beauty of her grandchild thundering down the hallway, crawling thunderously. She'd come and she'd play, and my Eiley couldn't leave her for 3 minutes, even when she was 12, 11 months old. Constant attention. Not Hannah Nicole. Hannah Nicole, she got in the living room with her stuff. She'd make a story. You could leave her play in there for 20 minutes. She'd make up a world. She'd put the dolls. She had things at 11 months old, 13 months old. She'd be piling cars. She'd be making a whole story and happily playing. And somebody comes, smile, go over, pet the dogs. This was her world. Everything here, Grandma made the entire house her world. That's why we were there.
Sir, the purpose of this hearing today is to give the court an understanding of sort of the impact of the actions of
Nobody
Be real.
can weigh the potential of the impact. When you lose Grandma and you lose Grandpa and you were not estranged, you have a life, a rich life lived. You have memories. It's painful. It's a natural process, a cycle of life.
This is actually during her sentencing. He did basically like a victim impact statement.
When you lose a baby,
The leader of the cult, and the father of the baby.
when somebody entitles himself by whatever precipitation, you can get into the moral philosophy if it is okay or not okay. Do you own your life? Can you take your life? When you
Damn
entitle
right,
yourself
Stevie.
by whatever precipitations, by whatever
We've
precipitated
all-
your mind.
We have all been at a party or a rager and had someone like this, like high as a kite on shrooms or something, and just talk your ear off.
Without getting into the weeds, decide you are entitled to take somebody else's life based on your opinion of whatever kind of mental illness, lack of mental illness, acting, pretending you're in mental illness, overlaying, masking. It doesn't matter. There is no wiggle room where you are entitled to take somebody else's life because of your impression or opinion. They are there to live life and discover what life is for themselves. The impact of losing Hannah Nicole driver Ben Michael cannot be measured. We sat around.
I've honestly, and don't take me wrong when I say this, but I honestly considered if he is possibly autistic, him and the other guy, Jason, because they sound very intelligent, like they're very smart, it seems, but then they get hyper focused on stuff and their ideologies are like obsessions to them.
In the waves of some luxurious beach somewhere for 2.5 years, speaking tenderly to each other, dreaming our daughter. Before she was born, buying her the highest level, best things, doting on her. Nobody knows. Deanna doesn't know. Jeff doesn't.
Good morning, Rockabit. I know that's what I said. Just one more day. We just got to make it one more day, girl.
Doesn't know. Your Honor, you don't know. Nobody knows. She could have grown up and given humanity cures to things we don't even have diseases for yet. How can you measure the potential? How can you look at father and say, the image I have of a 5-year-old, of a kindergartner, I lost the potential, I lost the view. The most unplanned child, the most unprepared parents is a travesty and a tragedy of the highest order that the parents may never be able to articulate the pain and loss of. Now you're talking about it.
You see what I'm saying? Like he goes on these rants because he's so hyper focused and obsessed with the ideology. And yes, for anybody who don't know, this is the father of Hannah Driver. No, it wasn't Hannah Driver. This is the husband of Chloe Driver. My bad. And the father of Hannah. Chloe stabbed her baby to death. She is one of 3 wives, and she met Z, which is this guy, Ben Michael, when she was 17 and he was 38.
A baby was not just planned, but planned. A baby who was meant to put their best foot forward. A baby who was taught to have a moral and cultural consciousness that would give to humanity whatever she could possibly find as her niche and knack in the world. To measure the impact and loss privately, I'm a very hard individual. I've lived a very particular life in countries that are not here to get knowledge and find things. I'm not a good model for initial reactions. In other words, I'm extremely stoic. That doesn't mean there wasn't 13 months after, in every private moment when I screeched like a frightened 7-year-old girl, where I sat for 3 months in a van just screaming and screaming and screaming that this woman believed that she was entitled to take my daughter's life out of this world because she stopped believing in having a moral consciousness and the duty to help humanity, because she believed the girls who were with us, not that she didn't believe in polygyny, she didn't believe in the girls who were with us, she believed they were reprobate, second class. She believed she put in more energy and people did not reciprocate to her, and she quit around June 3rd, 2020 and planned Hannah's death because she planned to exit the world and take her daughter with her. She may have even abused her and felt that there was some issue on a phone call between taking the girls to Connecticut when she said, if you don't get your ass back down here to the South as quickly as you possibly can, I will throw this baby on the floor because I'm tired of her screaming and I can't get her to go to sleep the way you do, which was a beautiful segue that I love spending time with my daughter, putting her to sleep. It was like my job to put her against my heart. We spent lots of time rocking and going into sleep, and Chloe just had triggers from being raped and abused as a child, suffocated and jumped on by a drunken Eric driver who caused her to be triggered by sleep. And she doesn't even know it herself. I apologize. I'm very emotional.
I understand. The purpose of this hearing is about Hannah and the loss of Hannah and the
And this is the impact on me.
Can you tell the board whether you have any feelings with regard to punishment?
Nothing that actually happened to her would ever change her. I don't know that no sentence, maximum sentence, could ever get through to her in a way that she won't build a new identity, a new mask, change who she is, manipulate the next party. Chloe Alexis Driver wasn't a victim. She had the most power in our group. It was called her fits. I don't know what kind of a sentence would help her.
Yep. Cammy, that's exactly right.
She say death penalty, maximum. She believed she could take the life of a baby out of this world, any baby, and this beautiful baby who had this much potential to help the world, an impact that can't be weighed. Nearly unlimited potential. Can we see the others? Yeah. There's a whole nother email with the ones with the family.
Yeah, he's an arrogant motherfucker. Total piece of shit. All right, so we're going to listen to a couple of calls, and then I've got another one we're going to play, which was him talking to Court TV after sentencing. And like, you'll see, this is just who he is. And it's bizarre. Okay, so let's see. Let me pull up. Oh, I see one of the tragedy pimps is live. Look, this is not okay. This, hold on, this, like, she's got what's supposed to be a fat version of hung. Anybody going back with these motherfuckers with this case, it's so sick, man. It's just so sick. Ignore them. There's no point in going back and forth, because when you continue the back and forth, you become exploitative. Fuck. Moving on. Jesus. It's just too much. I want to make sure I don't miss any. Okay, no, I'm not. So before we go here, let's see. YouTube is making me hate people. Yeah. Kate, you rang? Yeah, Kate, it's insane, bro. It's nonstop, all day, every day. It 100% feels like the Summer Wells community. Okay, so before we get started, we got to get on the bus. So make sure you have all your belongings. All right, we're here. We made it safe and sound. I hope everybody enjoyed their road trip over here to the prison community. Thank you for keeping all hands, feet, and other body parts in the windows. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. This is phone calls from prison, and I will be dropping their link. Let me go. Let me go back. I'll read it to those who may just be listening. On December 8th, 2020, Chloe Driver brutally stabbed her 13-month-old daughter, Hannah, to death. Chloe's defense argued her mental state at the time of the crime. They argued her husband was older, had alternate ideologies, multiple wives, and indoctrinated Chloe. This case has been labeled as a cult mom murder. After being found guilty in November of 2024, Chloe Driver was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole on December 12th, 2024. So she's got to do 30 years. Georgia law states that she will have to serve 30 years of her life sentence before she is eligible for parole. If I'm not mistaken, the life sentence is 40 years in Georgia, so she has to at least serve 30 before she's even eligible. And in my opinion only, I do think she'll end up getting parole. This is Chloe's first call after being found guilty.
Hey,
Hey, baby.
what you doing?
Waking up.
Just waking up?
Yeah.
Mm.
Just waking up, baby.
Huh?
I miss you.
I miss you too. I can't believe that. They forced me to watch for 2 days, even though I wasn't so. They did me so dirty when I came back to the jail.
You know how I figured out you was gonna say what?
How?
went to book to go see you, and when I went to put it in, it said Friday. I said, wait, she just told me the other day it was Thursdays and Mondays, I swear. But I remember Thursday, and on the time that it was showing, it wasn't showing Thursday at all. I was like, what the f-? So then I like went to the thing, and it was like I scrolled up a little bit, and it was showing the pods, and it was like H pod, and I remember that was medical, and it said visitation only on Fridays.
And we don't know who this gentleman is. We just know he's a man caller that she has been having contact with. But just wait.
Yeah, like I came back, all the officers, the mental health lady, everybody perfectly fine. I mean, not like perfectly fine, you know, but I've had 4 years to accept this.
No, she does not look like Leilani to me. You know who she looks like to me? Let me show you. Tell me I'm lying. Hold on, let me go to images. Well, I was looking for a better photo, but oh, here we go. Here, I'll let it play and then I'll show y'all.
And basically the captain and the sheriff were like, no, you're going on to watch. And apparently they wanted to keep me even longer than that, but we made I had like stipulations and stuff I have to follow in order to be back in Gen Pop. So I'm finally out of my watch. That was hell. That was absolute hell. I couldn't call you or my mom. I couldn't call nobody right after I got my verdict. That's so messed up.
Yeah, that's look.
It really is. Like, oh my gosh. And I haven't even been on watching like a whole year. It's just crazy.
I know, I've been proud of you. And I said, ain't no way she went back to that motherfucking jail after the flu. I was mad at hell.
Yeah, they forced me, man.
I know, until I figured it out. Then I figured it out later. I was like, oh, well, maybe they just made her go.
Yeah.
Some girl had told me. I was like, damn, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. How you
I
been?
missed you. I said, damn, I missed that girl, man.
Huh? Oh,
I was missing you. I was talking to my homeboy, Greg. I said, man, this little shit ain't called me. Greg said, I don't know. So why you mad at you? I said, I don't know. I'm thinking so. Ain't still doing that.
Well, I just got back like a couple hours ago during lockdown. So
They took you to medical?
as soon as I got back from the courthouse, yeah, they took me to medical and then they put me in watch. But I'm back in Gen Pop now. I'm in J-Pod.
You back in your old room?
Yes, I'm back in my old room. Yep. Yeah, so I'm glad about that.
That folk crazy, man. You said you wasn't at all?
And I get what she's saying. She's had a long time before her trial to make peace with what she did. But I just find it super interesting I don't know, the callers, I guess, is the most interesting part to me. I would love to hear the calls from when she first was in prison because she maintained contact with Hannah's father, the cult leader, for a while. Until she didn't, right? And I don't know what led to her dropping contact with him, but she was doing all kinds of squirrely shit in jail to contact him. Using other people's phone accounts, getting them to call. She had her phone privileges taken several times. I mean, she loves to talk on the phone. I want to hear the other calls.
Not at all. I didn't give any inclination.
Oh, but look. This is who she looks like. Tell me she don't. Tell me she look like Darlene Connor. Darlene, what you doing over there, girl? to get everything from her jail. It's $18K. Oh my God. Yeah, they did. They had to remove her privileges for the phone and email several times. Now, here's my thing, Deets. A lot of those phone calls were made at when she first, let's say the first year she was in. Let's just assume the first year. A lot of those phone calls were made under other people's accounts. So there's going to be a lot of calls we won't be able to hear from the beginning. And it sucks. Did you, Solo? She looks just like Darlene Connor to me. That's exactly who I thought she looked like. All right, anyways, let's get back to it. Uh-oh. My volume stopped, didn't it? Damn. I don't know why it does that when I share another screen.
You back in your old room?
Yes, I'm back in my old room. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
sorry
lot,
about that.
Stevie.
Oh, so crazy, man. You said you wasn't at all?
Not at all. I didn't give any inclination that I wanted to hurt myself. I told them I was perfectly fine. I said, no, I've accepted what it is. Like, I've had 4 years to accept it. I'm really not, you know what I mean? I'm not real about it. Like, it's not, no, it's nothing like that. But they were like, well, just because of the fact that I've had I've been at risk for so long, they said it was like, they had to do it. But whatever. I'm hoping they don't do it again on Sentencing Day. I'm going to be mad as hell if they do it again. I will be so sad. I do not want to go back there.
You sure will? You sound to me like you're getting better. Choices like that.
Yeah, no, I'm just ready to get I'm just ready to move forward and be able to not sit on my butt 24/7 and actually have a life, despite it being behind bars. Like, I just want to do stuff,
One thing about it, don't let it last forever.
Huh?
I said one thing about it, don't nothing last forever.
Yeah, you're right.
Nothing lasts forever, baby. One thing
Well,
about
maybe.
it might not have been.
Wise words.
Huh?
Look at you and your wise words.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy that Cookie always done the medical.
I know. Everybody cleared me, but the captain intervened and was like, nope. And then the sheriff even said it, and it was just, I was so sad. 2 days. That was pure hell for me. I just wanted to hang out with my friends, talk to my mom and you, and couldn't even do that. It was so messed up. I'm starving.
You starving?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they take everything from like food and all, right?
Yep. Yep. That's okay. I'm out now. I should go cook something.
I was so upset.
You?
I was like, well, maybe she's mad at me. I was like, did I say something?
Oh, no, of course not.
I
That's why I
couldn't
had to
remember.
leave you, because I was
It is,
waiting for an
Stevie,
opportunity.
it
And
is.
funny enough, it was so.
It is normal for the suicide watch, but she also, has had mental health issues. Like, they're claiming that's why she did what she did in the first place. And she did stab herself too. So she tried to unalive herself and it just wasn't successful.
Crazy how she ended up going to medical too she only went for one night, but thankfully she was able to make that phone call for me to let you know, because I really didn't want you to worry. And some other people were like, where are you? Like, why are you not responding? My mom probably knows I was on suicide watch because my attorney told her. So I even tried to get my attorney to help me get out of suicide watch. Man, I did everything I could.
Huh.
Oh, but even that made the phone call. Like, I wanted her to do that so that you wouldn't worry.
Yes, you told me. I said, all right. Tell her I love her.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, what?
I said, tell her I'll be here when she get out.
Yeah.
It has been a long 2 days though.
It really has.
Yesterday was terrible. I was like, damn, I know they got to let her out now.
Yeah, no. I was supposed to leave after 24 hours, but then the captain was like, nope, she's stay longer. I was like, oh my God. Even though I showed no, like, nothing at all. I wasn't too happy and I wasn't too sad. It was just, I want to cry just thinking about it. I hate that place, dude. I really do.
The suicide?
Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah, you're naked.
Huh?
You're naked.
I'm naked. Oh, naked. Did you just say naked?
Yeah, you're naked. I say naked though.
Yeah, pretty much. I had to like wrap the blanket around me the first day, and they finally got me a gown. I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna lay here. Yeah.
Yeah. Did I tell you my brother got locked up?
Yeah, you did. So as soon as I went to medical, I was asking if Giddens was still.
No, he ain't there. He ain't going there.
Oh. Well, wasn't he in Cherokee for a minute?
No, he ain't been there.
We don't know who the guy is that she's talking to. We just know it's a dude. Somebody she met from in there. So it's somebody that's either wrote her or something. Because don't they have to write them? If you don't know them, don't they have to write you? I don't know. Somebody from the outside that she didn't know prior. Somebody random.
He ain't been there in a while. He charged her in Gwinnett. He was there like 90 days ago. Like when he got out of medical, like when you was there.
Yeah.
That was like, I don't know, that was like 5 months ago, 6 months ago, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I thought you meant that he was locked up back in here. So I was like, is Giddens down here? And the mental health lady was like, no, he's my little troublemaker, but he's not here. He's not here right now. I said, well, I was inquiring as to where he might be, and she said that he left. So I guess she meant from 5 months ago. Because I was trying to find a way to get the messages to you. I was like, maybe Ty can do it.
Yeah. I was sad, bro.
Same.
I was like, man, I just want to talk to her. Because I'm just like staring at my phone. I'm like, I can't even call.
I know.
See what I'm saying? It's just like, back to what I was saying about my brother, right? So,
Okay.
So remember I told you the story, right? Like him and that girl got into it.
No.
I told you I didn't tell you why he got locked up.
No.
Well, anyway, he got locked up, right? So he got locked up. Him and that girl got into it. She didn't really tell me the whole story, but like 3 days ago, maybe, or no, because I talked to you 3 days ago, so this had to be 2 days ago. 2 days ago, she was telling me. So I can't remember the time frame of when I don't think did I ever tell you, like, remember my daddy got locked up and I told you that he had a dog and it was pissing getting all in my grandma's house? Did I ever tell you that?
Well, I remember him getting locked up, but I don't remember you saying anything about a dog.
All right, well, he had a dog. It was pissing shitting everywhere at my grandma's house. So long story short, me and my sister sent the dog to Ty's girlfriend's house because she got dogs and all her dogs are well taken care of. So it wasn't like nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna believe what you ain't gonna believe.
Yeah, thank you for checking in on me. Sorry, mental health just came in. Okay. Anyways, go on.
You're not gonna believe what my brother did.
What?
He killed a dog.
What the? Why?
I have the same question. You killed a child. Why?
Because the girl wouldn't listen to him. The girl wouldn't listen to him.
Oh my God. He's probably going to sit there for a long time. I knew a girl that left puppies on the side of the road, and she ended up staying here for like well over a year. And then, in fact, I think she went to prison just for diagnostics, and then she got out. But she sat here for like a year, a little over a year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I believe he did that. What's his problem?
Now, see, that's really the only thing I found wrong with these calls, besides you just talking to these random folks. But that's your business, But like, Excuse me. What is his problem, Miss Ma'am? What was your problem? I know, mental health. I know.
Yeah. Oh, that. How you feeling mentally? You feeling good? Well,
I'm
I mean,
feeling
it's
great
good
now
if you
that I'm back
feeling
in the
good.
pod. I'm just so happy that I get to talk to you now. I'm happy I'm with, good people in here. I'm happy I'm off to watch. So
I don't think you. I don't. I mean, from the conversation that me and you had, I don't think that you were like.
I'm not sure,
I don't
Deeksy.
feel. I mean, I didn't obviously talk to you after that, but I don't feel like you were like. I don't feel like you were.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like that's what.
Animal cruelty's too far, Stevie.
They should
well,
have
I'm
been.
not. That's the whole point I'm making. I wasn't. They just forced me to go on it because it's protocol.
They made a sweeping
Everybody
accident.
cleared me. Like nobody thought I should go on to watch, but the captain and the sheriff were like, well, she needs to go on to watch. Not everybody wants to like themselves because they get a life sentence, So
Hold on, what you just said?
what?
Repeat what you just said.
I
You
said
think
not
they recorded calls that far back?
everybody wants to
Those would be interesting.
kill themselves because of a life sentence.
I'm not. Do you feel like that's what it's going to be? I don't necessarily know if I agree with that part.
Agree with what?
You don't be listening. I don't think that you. I don't understand why they felt the need to try to say like you were. But I don't get that part.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. It's literally just because someone who gets a heavy sentence is supposed to go on to watch, and I'm already like a side risk. So they just wanted to dot their I's and cross their T's, sort of speak.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not at all.
This call will be terminated in 2 minutes.
Then that fucking bitch right there. I hate that bitch.
I know, rude as hell.
You're gonna be all right.
I know.
I'm gonna be here for you.
Well, that's sweet.
Well, it's a little hard not to be now. I'll switch you now.
What?
I say it's a little hard not to be now. I'll switch you now. You my little nut.
Oh, I'll be like your little jailbird. What?
I say it's a little hard not to be now. I'll switch you now. You my little nut.
Oh, I'll be like your little jailbird.
Shut up. That's just ain't funny, but it is.
Oh, I missed you so much. I'm so glad we get to talk.
I know I missed your ass, man. I didn't even realize how much I missed you. So yesterday, I was like, man, this shit's some bullshit. I said, I know this. I know damn.
Yep.
This call
Little
will be
jailbird.
terminated in 1 minute.
I was like, I know damn well she ain't in there acting a fool, but I was mad as hell at you.
Little jailbird. Hey, Allie.
No, I really wasn't. I was perfectly normal. I was normal as hell. I mean, I wasn't like too happy and I wasn't too sad. I was just like, well, damn, it sucks, but it is what it is. What am I supposed to do? Bash my head against the wall until like my sentence changes? Like, it was just crazy. I wasn't doing nothing though. I was all right.
Good.
I was so excited to come back to the jail too, so I could talk to you and my mom and everything. And they were like, watch. I was like, oh, wonderful.
Hold on, they told you as soon as you got back?
Yeah, everybody cleared me. I was perfectly fine. I'm not at all. According to multiple people, I was fine.
I don't.
But then the captain intervened and the sheriff intervened.
Listen, I was muted, but I don't even remember what I said when I was muted. I think I said, listen to the way she just squealed. about him calling her his little nut. I think that's what I said. It's like a little girl. Like, and then I think I said, I know mental health, but I have a hard time still with these murderers.
And they were like, no, just for protocol, she needs to go on the watch. I was like, dang. Anyway, that's
This call was terminated.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
All right, let's go back. And this is number 2. Okay, it's just the same, letting you know what happened.
This
Hello?
is a prepaid call from
Chloe Driver.
an inmate at the Cherokee. Your call has been accepted.
Hello?
Hey, I can't stay on too long because I can't stay on too long because I didn't leave enough money over.
I'm not Jesus.
I only have like $2 left on my phone, so I have to go move it over after this phone call. I gotta call my mom.
I'll see you Monday. Thank you. Yeah, you okay?
Okay. You know what they
Yeah? Huh?
Now, do y'all realize this is a totally different dude? Totally different dude.
Do you know what happened?
No.
I was gonna ask if you could move money over on my account.
You said,
20. Sorry, I was having someone move over money for me. Yeah, you know,
be careful with that.
it's the same person I've known for like 3.5 years now.
Oh, okay.
Come on, it's been the same person. I would never do that with somebody else.
Oh, okay. Because I remember when what's the name had went in there and was using your phone time.
Yeah, no, Amber's never done that, and I don't think she ever will. She's never done
Yeah.
that. But I don't know, I never expected Whitney to do that, but she did do it. But so far, Amber's been proven. I mean, she's really cool about stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
anyway, what's it called?
That's right.
Yeah, so because of my verdict, they put me on mandatory watch, even though I wasn't. Thank you, Amber. Even though I wasn't, they put me on watch for 2 days, and they would not let me off. And like I had to follow these stipulations in order for me to come back to Gym Pop. Like I just got back a couple hours ago. We've already gotten locked down like one time because we were too loud, so I'm getting stressed out about that.
Oh man. So what happened? Because I was actually scared to watch because I didn't want to. You know, I just. Huh?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, I want you to tell me. I mean, no matter what, Chloe, I'm not going anywhere. So.
Okay, well, they found me guilty but mentally ill. So I did not get the NGRI. I'm not going to an institution. I'm going to prison. And they're going to sentence. So I have sentencing on December 12th. And that's either going to be life with or life without. So that's my options right now. And it's just depending on what the judge sentences me to, because she can give me either without or with. And the whole point of sentencing, I guess, when we go there is for her to decide whether or not she's giving me parole or not. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's okay. Huh?
I said for real, babe.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping I get parole. It's okay.
Huh?
I've had 4 years to accept it. You know what I mean? Like it's okay. I'm just glad it's over now. You know, and I can move forward. So I'm just glad I'm gonna be able to get to college, and I'll be able to get a detail. And I mean, you can come visit me every now and then. You know.
Yeah. Let me have the hold on, baby. Let me have the Mexican sweet corn Whopper meal.
What? What is up with these fools ordering food while they're on the phone with prisoners? Oh, Lord.
Medium. Yes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, baby. Damn, I hate that.
I call you back at like 3:45 because Miss Shaw's gonna let me stay out longer with the cleaners so that I can call again. She already asked me to do that. So can I call you back at 3:45?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, because I haven't talked to my mom yet, so I want to go talk to her real quick.
Okay. Okay, baby.
All right.
Make sure you call me
All right,
back.
Okay, I will. I love you.
All right. I love you too.
They just
Hi.
be throwing that motherfucking word around, don't they?
Oh, you called me at the time. You called me right at the right time. I was literally hopping out the car. I would have missed your call. I'm going to hit close the door. I literally would have missed your call.
Yeah, I don't have long clarity to make it. I was just going to call my mom and my dad.
Yes, she does.
But they're not answering. I'll have to call them again at 4 o'clock. But I got like 5-ish minutes to talk to you.
Andy.
I like hearing you move around.
Hey, I appreciate it. He said, what? I was talking to the lady. I'm like, she told me, all I heard was you say something about moving around.
I said I like hearing you move around.
It's weird, ain't it? Most of the time, most of the time you hear me though, I'm just driving. I'm not really like running back and forth.
Yeah.
I think this dude was ordering some sort of Whopper or something.
What is it, baby?
No, they're boring calls.
You sure?
Yeah.
Send me something good. You know what's good?
Tell me something good.
To talk to you. Hey, listen, I ain't bullshitting with you. I miss your little funky ass, man.
I miss you too.
And they all talk like little thugs. Little thug. It's the thuggish ruggish bone.
I'll tell you straight up. I was like, man, shit. Well, maybe she'll call me. You ain't never called. I said, oh, okay.
Oh no.
But I remember we had talked, and I was like, well, we had talked like before everything started. You're like, it might be, I might go a day or so. So I really wasn't tripping,
Yeah.
But
Bug.
I say I wasn't tripping, but I was.
Aww.
Well, we can talk all the time now. I'm not going to
No,
court
if
again
you lace
until
up your
December
tennis
12th.
shoes, that don't happen.
You want me to be there?
That's up to you. I don't
No, she didn't know any of these dudes before prison.
know. I'm scared. I don't know. Because that man I was with before, he might show up, and he stresses me out.
So,
and you can probably.
And I totally understand what she's saying right there, because the man she's talking about is the one we just watched at the beginning of the stream. The one, the baby daddy, the cult leader.
He says some really screwed up stuff about me. I'm really scared about that, but if you want to, you can. If I knew he wasn't coming, then I would say yes. But if he is coming, I'm kind of sketched out for anybody else to show up.
Why?
Because I don't even, the shit that he's going to say, like, I don't even know what, it stresses me out thinking about it. It's just a lot, but no, yeah, you can.
I mean, listen, let me tell you something. If you don't know by now, I really ain't worried too much about what nobody said about you.
Right?
Oh, you're going to be sitting in the room and you'll be forced to hear it.
Huh?
Huh?
I know, but I mean, if you ain't figured that out now, I ain't too much worried about it.
Okay, all right. Okay. Then yes, you should probably go. I would like that.
I wonder if he went.
That's like where I wind up with my hands ain't on the wheel. I think the biggest blessings in my life came in the sky, kind of like. They're my shit right here. Oh, I did a thing yesterday too.
What?
I got a brand new truck yesterday.
Well,
What?
can you get the blinker fixed on that brand new truck? Ain't nobody's blinkers should be that loud.
You did.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
The back
brand
of
new.
it?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
keep
like
going.
brand new. I took the plastic off the seat.
Oh, cool.
Tell me something good, buddy.
Um,
Hey, and first of all,
There he goes again. Tell me something good, baby. And both times she says, because she's thinking of something to tell him. And he interrupts her both times. Like, stop telling her to tell you something good if you ain't listening, fool.
oh, cool.
tell me something good.
Um,
Hey, and first of all, huh?
what?
I'm just saying, I don't know how you don't know that. I don't know if you think I be bullshitting, but I don't listen to outside noise. No one can make me feel any way about you but you.
Ooh, okay. That's
You're about the only person that can make me stop feeling any type of way about you.
okay. Well, as long as that doesn't happen, I'm doing my best not to let that happen.
I mean, it can't happen unless you that piss me off then. I mean, that's kind of hard.
yeah, but I can be annoying, so I can easily piss you off.
Yeah, but that don't piss me off, bro. That's just like, hey, maybe I have to take a step back, but like, hey, call me in an hour. Let's take an hour straight. Call me in an hour or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
Did you ever talk to your mama then?
No, she didn't answer.
So much what?
I'm gonna call again at like 4 o'clock. The officer's letting me stay out while they clean, so I can have extra time.
You said prison is what?
Cheaper, right? Like a whole lot cheaper.
Oh yeah. Your phone calls ain't there as much.
There goes that blinker again.
Okay, cool. How much? Do you remember how much phone calls are? Because they're like $4 here, $5 for me when I call my parents because they're out of state.
I think it's might be like around $2, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Maybe it is bunny.
they wasn't much.
yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna get off the phone and let this girl down because I already used some of my time. Vicky.
Okay, so
You're good? Oh, never mind.
you can get your phone down the road.
I went?
You can get your phone down the road.
Yeah, that's like one of the first things I'm going to be looking for. I don't care about drugs. I don't care about none of that stuff. I don't want to touch none of that. I just want a phone. That's all I want.
I've never done drugs anyway.
See,
So
she loves talking on the phone, man.
I've never done drugs.
Yeah, no, I'm good on that. I definitely do not feel any type of...
I never did. The only thing I ever did is smoke. I might smoke a cigarette. That's about it.
Yeah, even that, like...
That's just another bill.
Yeah, I heard they're really expensive down there, too. They're like, what, $20 for a cigarette?
I don't know. Women's a lot different. The men's ain't that high.
Oh, yeah.
The men's about $25 a pack.
I promise you, I'm getting... Oh,
Come on. God damn.
Hey, calm that road rage down.
Calm that road rage down?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh, I missed you. I'm so happy we're talking.
I know, I did miss you. That first day, it was like, okay, like 4:30 came around. I was like, all right, yeah, she's about to call me. I was excited. And then like 6:30 came, you called. Yeah, I said, oh, maybe she's at lockdown. I think she said, because normally when you call me, like after that, it'd normally be like 6:45, almost 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, so it'll be around 7. You didn't call? You didn't message me? I was like, what the fuck?
Aw. Yeah.
I don't know. I was worried, but I was more like, I don't know. My feelings was kind of hurt. I was like, what the fuck? Did I do something wrong?
Never ever.
And then you called me, that lady called me. She said, Corey says you love me. I said, I love her too.
I didn't even say that. She put words in my mouth. And then she tried telling me that you said it first. And I was yelling at her under the door. I was like, stop telling that. It's going to make me sound weird.
I got love for you, so it didn't seem weird to me.
Okay. And she was like, she said it first. So I just said that you loved him too. So I was like, oh. Okay.
Maybe she just telling me what you wanted to say and didn't say. And because she's your roommate, so she knows. That's how I'm gonna take it.
Who?
That's how I'm gonna take it. You hear me?
My
No, I didn't hear
Lord.
you.
I said I'm gonna take it as you've been talking to your roommate about me, and she knows how you feel about me.
No, actually, that's not my roommate. She just happened to.
Oh,
That's not my
Oh,
roommate. My
okay.
roommate is someone different, but the one you're thinking of
I get what you're
is the one
saying.
who likes me. Yeah.
I get it. I'm already there.
Hey, Mac, get your mind out of the gutter. What? Is there some hanky panky going on? No, it's his blinker, girl. It's his blinker.
Yo.
I thought you
Okay,
were like,
so does this mean you can set up a visit next week?
I'm gonna stick to our plan. I'm gonna try to. Why did I tell you? Or did I not? I was gonna come up there Thanksgiving morning.
Okay, come up here Thanksgiving morning then. But you have to set it up in advance so that you can make it, because there's probably going to be a lot of people.
I know, but I can't set it up now because it don't let me go that far out.
Oh, really?
I was trying to set up a visit with you, and it would only let me do the day of. Like I was trying to do it the other day, and it would only let me do Friday. And I was like, she don't even have visits on Friday. And then I put you in.
Yeah.
I was hurt and mad. I was like, I know she is not on sidewalk.
Not by choice.
Yeah, I was like, what the? We literally have been talking about this.
Yeah. No, I know. I was so worried that you're going to be like mad at me. I was like in my mind. I'm like, Drake, I promise it wasn't what you think.
Was she thinking about me?
No. Nothing else to do anyways, you know? Yeah, I was worried that you were going to get upset or something. But thankfully it worked out to where Amy could call you. So.
I think the only thing that I was just worried about, like, not being able to talk to you.
Yeah, I know.
I just wanted to talk to you and let you know, like, look, I just wanted to let you know that I was here for you regardless. You know, like.
Oh my gosh, I like you.
I just wanted to let you know that I was here for you. You know, and it sucked because like there's nothing like there was nothing I could do. You know what?
Yeah.
You just feel like hopeless sometimes.
Yeah.
I was like, well, hell, if I was in there, I'd see her. But somebody got to support all these things.
Yeah.
You're gonna be all right, though. I got your back.
Okay.
This call will be terminated in 2 minutes.
Well, that's pretty darn cool.
Hey, so you ain't talked to your mama since you've been back?
No, I tried calling her before I called you again. When I get off the phone, I'm gonna call her again. She might be working, but I tried to call my dad too. But I mean, I don't know. He sleeps during the day and works at night. So I don't know. We'll see about
Are y'all locked down right now?
No, we're about to be.
What? Oh yeah.
We were locked down for a second though. Huh?
It's like 4 to 6, ain't it?
6:30.
Yeah. Are you gonna come back tonight?
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah. No, I want to. I just moved money over.
You talk to your mama first.
This call will be terminated in 1 minute.
You need to make sure you talk to your mama.
I am. I'm gonna call her as soon as I get off the phone with you because nobody's in line. It seems like so. I'm just gonna dial back. Yeah. No, I do want to talk to you tonight. I was just doing calculations for a second.
What, you need some money?
Well, I'm trying not to go under a certain amount because I'm trying to save up for when I go.
Man, listen, my card will work on the prison, so I ain't to worry about that. I'll put money on your shit in prison. I'll put money on your books in prison. My card will work for that. For some reason, my card don't work for Cherokee County. It will not let me put money on books. They don't accept Master or Discover cards. So.
This call was terminated.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
All right.
Okay, so you were very depressed in the last talk.
Nope. Hold up. Hold up. We ain't going there. Not today. Not today, Jesus. We are not. Nope. All right. Let's go to the third call. Videos. There it is. Wait, hold on. Let me go back. I just want to make sure I click on the right one. Yep.
Hello.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Hi. Nothing. Just walked out of a meeting. What are you doing?
Oh, just cleaning up. The office is playing music and just making me very happy. Just playing fireworks because I was singing it earlier. So she put it.
Oh, what's going on?
Yeah. So what are you
In this one, they talk a lot about the baby daddy.
So, whatever Michael, whatever his goofy face name is, he got out of jail and he messaged me back, and I went off on him for like 30 minutes this morning.
You talked to
Told me
him?
he was a
No madness. You
not
got to send me
verbally.
that
He
in
called my phone
Discord.
and I blocked his number. I just messaged him on Instagram. So remember, like the long message I told you I sent him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he like answered me and was like, I know that you have no reason to trust me, but like I'm gonna expose the truth and like and all this stuff. And I'm like, the truth is you're a literal piece of shit garbage who needs to be heavily investigated and put away for life. I was like, that's the truth. He's like, no, the truth is what the state said. And I was like, no, it's not. I was like, you and I both know that. And I just like went off on him and told him what a horrible sack of shit person he was, and that I pray to God that this haunts him every day of his life.
Oh.
And that my best friend is going to prison for life, and he's just out here free ruining people's lives.
Yeah. What do you say?
Just tried to like manipulate me. He's like, I understand why you feel that way. And I'm like, I don't need your validation, sir. I don't need you to understand. I need you to listen.
So
I don't want to hear. Huh?
He's coming to my court date, isn't he?
He didn't say that.
Okay, I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not too.
I'm just gonna believe he's not there.
He's literally disgusting, and he still has warrants out. So if he shows up, he'll probably just get arrested again.
Oh, really? He does? Then why'd they let him out?
Yeah, he got transferred to another jail and ended up getting bonded out, but he has warrants in states that don't extradite.
He is sassy.
But he's considered a fugitive of justice.
She's got like that Valley Girl tone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. And I just told him, I was like, you and I both know that like Chloe is not evil. Like Chloe is not this monster of a person. And he was just like, you have no idea who she is and all the things that she did. And I was like, dude, I was like, you're just mad because you've been exposed. I was like, and you're just mad that the truth about you is out and people literally hate you. He's like, I don't feel exposed. And I was like, yeah, you do. Like, because now all of a sudden you're like flipping the fucking script.
Even some of the bad stuff.
I know, and that's what I told him.
Done. Like,
That's what I told him. I was like, you literally pray.
Like, it's whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, I know the truth. He knows whatever. I can't change his mind.
Oh my God, Alicia, that's
I did with him when we
crazy.
were like in jail. Like I tried to show him a different way than what he's doing, and it's not enough. He likes what he does. He likes. I don't know. He just is so sold into his beliefs, which are really scary. Actually, his beliefs are very scary and very. And they're very like they force people to do things his way, and nobody else's way will prevail.
Yeah.
And when you don't, and when you resist, like you get, you know what I mean? Like you have to fight your way out if you don't agree with something. Whereas like any other sane, normal human being is allowed to just be like, no, I don't want to participate, and then they don't have to participate. But
Yeah, it's because you're in a cult, girl, and that's probably what they're blocking out right here. They're redacting. Hey, KCG, y'all, look at this. Look at this. I didn't even know this was a thing. Not this like out there in your face. Loveaprisoner.com. Meetanimate.com. Writeaprisoner.com. Y'all want to write a prisoner? Let me know. I'll put a poll up.
He wants to make him out like he's an angel, and he wants to think he's an angel too. But no, at the end of the day, we're all humans, and we all make mistakes, and we all make like. But at the end of the day, like he's choosing this day in and day out. He's choosing to live this kind of life, and I don't want to be part of it anymore. I don't want to be a bad person. I don't want to be any of that. Like, have I made mistakes in the past? Yeah. So has everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, but it was most of it was in response to what he did. Like.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Response.
dude,
You know?
like I can promise you do not need to defend yourself to me. Like he is sick and twisted and disgusting, and like I'm gonna take every chance I can to remind him that he is a disgusting, vile human, and I hope to God that he suffers every day that he is on this planet, and I mean that.
No, we can't do that. That's not the
Andy,
Christian way.
Stop it.
No. We can't hope that for him, but you know, just justice, just hope for justice, you know. Whenever that may happen in God's eyes, you know, like justice will be served. And who knows? This isn't the end. It's not set in stone. You know what I mean? Like this is not the last day that I'm going away for 30 plus.
What did your lawyer say yesterday?
Basically, she just wanted to review with me, like, what was going to be said tomorrow. You know, the DA is probably going to slander my name even more, even though they you know, probably. I'm assuming. I'm not entirely sure, but, you know, I mean, I guess that's just the point of being a prosecutor is to slander someone's whole entire existence. So, I mean, I guess, you know. At the end of the day, like, and did I lose my mind? Yep, sure did. And did something I was never supposed to have done, but nobody helped me. And they just want to make it like I'm just this evil human being, like who doesn't deserve any kind of life. So I don't know why they didn't just give me the death penalty when I asked for it 4 years ago, really. So if they want to play
You asked for it?
Yes, my whole first 6 months. What are you talking about? What? My whole first year here, I wanted a life sentence because they denied me my death. They denied me the death penalty, and they said that I wasn't allowed to have it or something because of I wasn't like, well, I forget what they said, but I didn't meet the standards to have a death penalty. And then like the following year after that, all I did was say, can I have life in prison? I want life in prison.
AMK.
And that's all I asked for.
No, that's not what you deserve.
But I hate it. That's what basically the hate that the DA has in their heart for me, acting like they're partially crazy. I mean, it's somebody to think that is like insane, dude. That's literally insane. Because there's not a speck of evidence otherwise that shows that I ever wanted anything. But I just feel like they're gonna smear my name even more, like they haven't already won enough. Like congratulations, you wanted to make me look like I'm this manipulative, backstabbing. Congratulations, like you did your. No, you didn't. Because at the end of the day, you're not acting on love. Like so it's just insane.
Yeah.
They just want to like make me out to be something that I'm not, just because it fits.
Well,
their
I mean. And there's many people who don't believe the DA, though. Remember that. Like, I don't believe them. You don't believe them. There's thousands of people on Reddit who don't believe them that don't even know you. You know what I mean? Like, so many people don't.
speaking of that, people have reached out to me. There's more people reaching out to me, like letting me know that they don't judge me and that they understand. They know that like, this was never my. Like, I never wanted to do what I did. That's the whole. It's just, I'm sorry that I didn't act in the way that you thought I should have acted because I was in a terrifying situation. I'm so sorry that I didn't think like a normal, sane human being in a situation where you would have done this. People just don't realize, like, in the position I was in, it's very hard to think like a normal, sane human being. It just is. And it's so horrible that
like you couldn't have. You like your brain literally didn't have the ability to, baby.
I know.
Like literally. And I think furthermore, like it's not like you just wanted, if you were just like doing like one thing and being like, okay, like I'm done, like no, like then you proceeded to take your own life because you believe. It was really interesting what that doctor said, like part of where my body ends and your body begins.
Yeah.
Like you literally like you guys like were the same person in your brain. And like that's okay. And like I'm telling you, like people do not, like I do not judge you. Like my wife does not judge you. Like random people on Reddit, like so many people support you. And like you said, like this is not the end, you know? And like
I totally judge
God
her
has
ass.
worked miracles
Absolutely.
because the number one thing is you're alive. You know? Like that's a miracle. And like people love you and people are supporting you. And that's like God putting people in your life for the right reason. Like I hate Ben Michael, but if it weren't for him, I would have never known where you were.
Right. I feel you.
You know, and like, yeah, like I'm disgusted that I ever even spoke to him, but like, thank God, like I did so I could like find you and we could become friends again, you know?
Yeah.
And like your parents still love you and you have friends and your lawyers are great. You know, it's like really fucking shitty, but like there are some really cool things.
We are not writing a prisoner.
There really are. And I'm just so grateful for you. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for all these people reaching out to me, wanting to be my, you know, they just want to get to know, they just want to be nice, you know, and it gives me hope, you know.
It should, because we love you and you are so loved and you're so important to me, to so many people.
Yeah.
Because really you're
keep in mind this friend of hers that she's talking to, like, hasn't seen her in a while. They lost contact. She only got back in contact with Chloe once Chloe was in jail.
Oh, angel baby. That's all you are.
She is not no damn angel baby. You know who is an angel baby? Hannah, her daughter, the one she stabbed to death.
But
yeah,
like, oh gosh, just pick up something that I did 4 years ago. Like, that phone call, it's insane because you know that phone call between my mom and I.
MK, thank you so much. If you got gifted by MK, please thank him. And welcome to the Hippie Hut.
That they played.
This call will be terminated in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, MK.
How about the fact that that's literally like of the only phone calls out of like hundreds. I'm talking about maybe even like up to thousands. I don't know. I called my mom way more than I called Benjamin. And I think so, at least. I'm not positive. It's the same thing with, she was like, and she said that, what was it called? She was like, oh, she said she was nice. She was going to be taken to the hospital. That's because when I was booked into jail, that's because when I was booked into jail, I'm sorry, that's because when I was booked into jail, my card says I was 90 pounds. So I subtracted 10, assuming that I was less than that. Sorry that the jail got my weight wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and then she took my phone calls, and she doesn't want to play any of the phone calls where 99% of my phone calls from my mother are like, I love
MK, not thanking yourself for your membership. Ah.
you. I'm sorry. This is great. Like, I love, like, thank you. You know,
I really do appreciate
two
that.
phone calls out of hundreds that I'm like still talking.
This call will be terminated in 1 minute.
And he's getting me to like, okay, great. Like, it shows his manipulation and his control over me. Like, what? But it makes me look like I'm so whatever.
No, it doesn't. I mean, that was their goal, but remember also, like, like, we both know that, like, that's also not very common. Like, most times, like, that you would just be proven guilty. So like you got one step closer than most to like the end result.
I
And
know,
I think that
Steph
will
B.
go far.
Dude.
Like if there is another trial or another rehearing,
What's the
you know,
how
like
does
you
that
already
happen?
have been proven like guilty.
How the fuck does that happen? Especially when we have people in here that aren't green. Like Pixie could have got that one. Val could have got that one. Nope. MK got his own.
Important.
Yeah, you're
Because
right.
that does prove that you were insane.
Yeah.
However we want to look at it.
Me either,
Right,
Stephanie.
okay.
That's weird, isn't it?
Oh,
I love you. You can call me later. I love you so much. Hugs and kisses. Email me if you need anything or if your book's open back up before you go.
This call was terminated.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
Ugh, those were so boring. Okay, so now let's go over here and then I'm gonna show you a news story and then we'll be done. So this is the cult leader, baby Hannah's dad, when he appeared on court TV after Chloe Driver was sentenced to life in prison.
Joining us now, Chloe Driver's ex, baby Hannah's father, Ben Rosenrock, formerly known as Benjamin Ben Michael. He's joining us by phone as we had some connection problems earlier. So, Ben, hopefully you can hear me. And I just want to start by saying, person to person, I'm so sorry for your loss. I can't think of anything worse than for a parent to have to bury a child. What happened to your beautiful daughter was nothing short of horrific and should not have happened. So let me just begin by saying, person to person, I'm very sorry.
Hi, G. How are you?
I'm glad you can hear me, Ben. Well, thank you. And thank you for joining me here today. I want to begin by asking you about your thoughts on the sentence that the judge gave Chloe, your ex-wife. What did you think about parole after 30 years of being a possibility?
I don't remember us getting divorced.
Oh, you're still married?
Here we go. Here we go. Did you hear him? I don't remember us getting divorced. And she's like, squeeze me.
What did you think about parole after 30 years of being a possibility?
I don't remember us getting divorced.
Oh, you're still married?
I work in a jurisdiction that is higher than the jurisdiction of the United States Commerce Code. I work under international ecclesiastical canon law.
Here we
That
go.
would have required her and I to go stand before a canon law judge in Switzerland, and we called it that.
Okay. Are you a sovereign citizen as well?
I find the word sovereign citizen.
Hey, Harley. We've been in here for an hour and a half almost. Cool. Yeah. Look at him though. He's doing what he's doing what was his name? Jason, the other cult member. He's doing what he was doing on the stand. He's just all over the place. Like he needs to talk so fucking much. I do too. Him and his buddy, because they're both alike.
Both repugnant and moronic, because sovereign means you are the supreme of something and a citizen means you're an underling.
Let me rewind that.
Citizen as well?
I find the word sovereign citizen both repugnant and moronic, because sovereign means you are the supreme of something and a citizen means you're an underling. Two terms are repugnant to put together and moronic.
Okay.
Also, I would never claim that. Sovereign citizen implicitly within the moral.
Did you have your pee this morning, Ben Michael? Did you have your Deets thinks you might be being sour because you didn't have your pee this morning.
Moronic term implies extra privileges. The privileged class are judges and police who have extra privileges to utilize their ability to attempt to help people.
Look at her.
Justice. So the police and judges are sovereign citizens. They get extra privileges.
She's like, they're telling her in her ear, you got to stop him. He's on a roll. He's going to keep going. Did you see him in court at the sentencing? Did you see his buddy testify? You got to stop him.
Well, I don't want to get off track.
You have a class. Well,
let's
the finishing
talk about
statement
what's
is a class that
important.
has rights. So
Fucking love it. I love awkward shit like this.
Bring justice. So the police and judges are sovereign citizens. They get extra privileges.
Well, I don't want to
In
get
dual
off track.
jurisdiction, you have a class. Well,
Let's
the finishing
talk about
statement is
what's
there's a class that
important.
has rights. So I work on the side of
Awkward.
rights. There's
Okay.
rights and privileges, and those are a few more privileges.
Okay, so let's talk about what is important. You said you're still married to Chloe Driver. So then your wife
Well, I'm
was
not
just
saying
sentenced.
I'm necessarily interested in the relationship. I'm just
Oh, I love these moments.
Mr.
saying in a lawful sense.
Mr.
the,
Rosenrock,
on-
I'm not interested in arguing with you. You said you'd like to come onto the program, and we would like to ask you some questions about your baby who was murdered and about your wife. You corrected me when I said your ex-wife. When I said your wife, you corrected me as well. We're not going to play games here. So let's get down to serious business.
Ooh, girl, tell them. Yes, queen.
Your daughter was murdered, sir. How do you feel about your wife's sentence for murdering your child?
Like I said on stand, I'm not sure there is a sentence that would speak to her or that any kind of sentence. There's no sentencing that can recover my daughter. So what happens with her sentencing and with her life, it is what it is. And without legal society, they decided she could have parole. You know, when she's 50 years old, if that's coming up, then she's probably not going to go out and murder any babies with this umbrella.
Well, we certainly hope not. Mr. Rosenrock, where were you during the trial?
I have a close friend of mine, Jason Spillers, who testified in the trial, who made some trouble with the guy he was living with in Savannah, and he wanted to extend that to me. So even though I spoke to the gentleman, Sean Kyle Grecian brought me into a book and told Jason with an affidavit that I had nothing to do with any of the things that items Kyle may have had lost, that he still continued to pursue a
Why do we
larceny
need to know
charge.
all this? She said, where the fuck were you? Say I was at home. Say I was at Burger King. Say I was at the movie theater. We don't need to know all this bullshit.
Made it felonious on my trip back down. I just driven 18 hours out of Myrtle Beach for the summer, dropped by Anna and the little baby off in Connecticut. Stopped by the farm where my Shayla is. 30 minutes from there, turned around and drove 20 hours back down here. Got picked up in Tennessee for going a little too fast in the traffic. Whatever it's called, where they sit and watch. And I ended up in jail.
Oh, he was in jail. That's right. So why couldn't you just say you were in fucking jail? Nobody needed to know why you were in jail. Because guess what? Nobody gives a fuck. You're a piece of shit.
In McMinn County, Tennessee during the trial for about 20 days. I've never really been in any situation like that. And
Ooh, do you think we could get his jail calls from Tennessee?
I don't know. Situation when I got put in pods because some people think the guy that I had a very different kind of crime. He attacked me, and I ended up victim getting put in the isolation for 23 days. Pretty terrible. Otherwise, I would have been
terrible.
You found some YouTube panels where he was ranting before or after? Like before, it would have had to been after. You mean while she was in jail, locked up?
Do you still have that case pending in Tennessee?
The case is not in Tennessee.
He was
it's
attending
a case out
afternoon.
of Pooler, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia. It's just that I was going through there, and I was. It's a place that.
And none of it, Steph, none of it made sense.
Even people in the jail made it a joke about this one cop, Emery, because it's there, and it drastically changed.
Yeah, I want to watch them too. Is like how long are those videos, Deets?
ranges from 65 to 45.
Yeah, so you got picked in Speed Trap you're talking about.
Right.
You had an outstanding warrant. Is that what you're telling us? The warrant out of Georgia?
I did, and I felt as soon as I got in there that the guy was just. I mean, I had my wife Shirley call him because he spent time at our Maple City property.
Cut him off.
Young guy.
Okay.
I gave a lot to, and it felt like he would drop the charges pretty. You know, I was only on a hold as a fugitive of justice from Cooler for this larceny.
Okay, so you were in jail during this trial, and that is why you say you weren't there. Tell us about your relationship with Chloe, please. Our understanding is you met her when she was just a minor.
Well, I was passing through a bus stop. I was in the middle of dealing with a very complicated situation with Gabriella.
Didn't they mention that in the trial? Yeah, that they had talked. I remember that.
And I was passing back through a Greyhound bus station. There was this bus Greyhound drama going on with strikes at the time. And our bus was getting very delayed. I was walking back and this young girl
Spitfire
was looking at me, and I'd seen her since I walked in, and she said, "Speak to me." I said, "Oh, are you on this delay too?" And she said, "No, I just have a regular 3-hour." I busted in, and we started talking. I guessed her age to be about 21 at the time.
Oh my God!
We talked for about half hours. We exchanged contact information, and as the human drama would go, I got back with Gabriella with my phone about 2 days after. So I had no contact with the girl until many months later when she called me.
Okay, was there contact when she was a minor child, though, inappropriate contact?
There was no inappropriate contact. At the time, she had turned 17, and she was contacting me and asking me questions about the nature of life and reality, and called me a rabbi, playfully.
Do you deny that you're a cult leader, sir?
If I'm a cult leader, I'm a very bad cult leader. I have had the training and the aptitude to be a cult leader, but if you take classic examples like the movies or Scientology, there's an aspect of like overpraise and validation. There are certain things that go into running a cult. I'm a cult leader. I'm a very bad cult leader. I don't really have a cult following. Maybe in the time when Chloe and I were a couple, I mean, I feel like it might be closer to saying evangelist. Could go around and share information with people. But I don't believe I've ever reached cult status, and I really wouldn't call myself a cult leader. It's too scandalous. I want to make the tabloid flash. I don't really have a cult. I have some people who have heard some information, who are, in reductive terms, truth seekers. I call myself a cult leader.
Do you agree with
mostly because I push people away, and I ask them to get under their skin. I ask them to sort their stuff out, and I say a lot of stuff.
Oh my God. He's insufferable. Yes.
That I know is either going to shut them down or they're going to put in the real work of human development. So you wouldn't really do that as a cult leader. You'd find a way to massage their ego.
Oh, hold on.
I guess that's a good term. You find a way to massage. I don't do that. People want to stick around and actually participate after I'm like pushing them back. Like you've really got to get.
So that's on them, huh?
That's on them.
On them, huh?
And anybody, if you ask Jason Spillers, even if you ask any of the girls who are with me now, they know that I push them back to analyze themselves and build their self more. If they decide to stay.
Yes, because the other two wives stayed with him after all this.
And develop love and relationships or connect. That's great. Would I love to have a community of autonomous people who know how to process with their minds and develop and work and farm together? Yeah, and we're making inroads towards picking up land and bringing people who want to use their own minds and decide to stay at their own volition. That's true, but I wouldn't call myself a cult.
Okay, interesting. Do you agree with the prosecution's theory? They put forth a theory that the reason that Chloe killed baby Hannah was that she felt that Hannah was getting in the way of the affection that she wanted from you.
Yes, OG, they are all yes or no with a small explanation if you feel the need. But Jesus Christ.
You. Chloe was seeking from you.
I hadn't actually heard that expressed. I know they.
But his best friend, Jason, the one that was on the stand that he had the private phone call with, like the other cult member, Jason, he's the same exact way. It was the same thing on the stand.
Express things like she felt like Anna and Shaylee actually, I mean, they didn't, candidly, probably the thing that affected her most because she had been with those wives. I mean, Shaylee, pretty new, but it gets deep fast if you consider like little liaisons and affairs.
Me either, Lindsay.
They go into it pretty fast. So Shaylee had been around for
bizarre.
I believe the thing not being said is the thing that she felt was taking my attention that scared her the most had nothing to do with Sister Wives. It was Jason Spillers. I had a strong male figure who had a very powerful mind of his own who listened and said with those little handwritten notes. And I was scared because people started listening. She really was talking about the amount of hours and time that I was spending on the phone, and then meetings with Jason Spillers was taking away from what candidly would be her ability to manipulate and control and get more energy because she would have fits. So if you're looking at the defensive theory, there was one factor, Julie, on Wednesday 13th before I took off, like why I just turned around and realized with the defense being exposed for how they were going to try to play me and Dr. Kessler misrepresenting himself to me for a few months, and then the state not being sure how it was going to work. I just decided to drive down. Got a friend who was watching court TV relayed to me Officer Chris Shaw's explanation of the way that she killed my daughter, because that is something through the jail call that Chloe had withheld from me. She said, put a little puncture hole in her neck and drained her, held her, and told her I loved her, which is awful and disgusting sounding to begin with. But it was a different picture when I heard what she brutally did. Every element of my body switched on, every neuron, every nerve, and I realized what really happened.
It was
because
horrific.
It's a problem in a relationship. Well, it's a problem in a relationship when you believe in somebody, because they're your human, and
well, you had multiple humans. I mean, you had multiple wives, and as you said, part of the problem was she's
get him, got him. She said, "Well, you got multiple humans."
jealous of the wives. She's got this baby. The other wives didn't have babies, and that was kind of what the prosecution's putting forth. You mentioned Jason Spillers. If I'm not mistaken, he's the member of your cult that drinks his own urine, right?
Well, I mean, it's what you were starting to say is that Chloe enjoyed a lot of time with me by herself because the period with Gabriella had ended.
Here he is. Look at him. That's the one that drinks his pee and talks just like the cult leader.
We had at least a year and a half, and some of that.
Did I say Nancy Grace? Do we need? Okay, I get it. We need some serotonin release. Hold on, here we go. Hold on, which one do we want? Hold on, where'd it go? Yeah, buddy.
Diddy hungry?
Wah. Palate cleanser.
That led to her feeling a certain sort of level of connection. And, Jason is into a lot of interesting health modalities. He also owns the same machine that the NFL and the NBA use, the AARP machine. That's rapid muscle and bone regeneration during games. So he has a lot of health technology. I just ask anybody not to get lost in the weeds of that. The point is that I was spending a lot of time with Jason, and some of these, I would go further than the defense. And it seemed that she really started.
He's given an answer to the question of drinking pee. This is the answer to, is it true Jason drinks pee?
Disconnecting at about Anna's birthday because it was sort of a drama that day down in Siesta Key, Florida. And it seemed like from that point forward now, once I realized what I realized on Wednesday the 13th, that she had decided to disconnect and then started the next phase. see if she could normalize or reintegrate outside of, here's the way I can put it to you. The entire time that I've been talking to people in law capacities and various family capacities about this incident, I said, this isn't like the classic Casey Anthony guilt party where you have an infant, a baby, you don't want to, you want to get back into the exuberance of people's life. This isn't like that because she was killing herself. And I realized, no, this is all like a last resort. There are elements of this because what she really wanted to do is complete what I would call the raising of a moral consciousness. That when I meet people who I have more information than or know how to be better balanced and self-regulated as a being in life, I feel the obligation to help them. And she didn't want that. So it really wasn't about jealousy about the violence at the end. It was that they were of a lesser level of development and refinement about ways to be. And it doesn't mean that.
Does he drink his urine? That is the question. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about right now, but we just want to know, does Jason drink his urine?
Probably was always being them, but she understood how to be them, and she could see that they were still confused. She didn't want to have to put any effort anymore, really self-develop. But then she started maybe phase 2 or 3 or whatever you want. We started hanging out a lot.
Yes or no?
With her family in the month of July. We were basically staying in Knoxville with Eric and Renee and Kyle and Aaron. And we were going down to a place south of Marysville where there was all this water. And we spent a lot of time together. And what she realized.
Appreciate your perspective.
Listen, my whole thing is if you got to explain everything to this degree, that means when somebody asks you a question, that means that you are not convinced yourself, because the answer just comes if you're convinced. Your religions, your beliefs, whatever. It seems like you're trying to talk yourself through this. Like you're trying to convince yourself of it. So instead of giving a yes, no answer, you lay out all this other bullshit for nothing.
She realized she couldn't reintegrate with her family.
She couldn't become normal again. You're saying once she decided to leave your cult, she couldn't become normal and go back into society.
I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to say that she had changed enough that she didn't feel like that was a glove fit either. She felt like she had no place. And I'm saying it's less about my quotes cult and more about her changing herself at this level of life or this level of way of acting, or just getting supply and satisfaction out of watching TV or just hanging around. That didn't work either. So at that point, she's trying to come back and figure out what to do with herself. And at a certain point, she realized that her sense of development and refinement was so far along that either she was going to have to live life in honor and integrity, leave the cult on, but understanding herself as a human wherever she went. She was going to have to live up to this or feel like she was failing at living up to the level of refinement of human consciousness, of morality. She wasn't going to be able just to jerk around or take her daughter, go to St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands, and just...
Yeah, there's accountability in life, that's for sure. Thank you for that perspective, sir. Let's talk about something else.
We got zero answer on if Jason drinks his pee still or not.
May or may not be aware of. Came out in the courtroom that during the trial, apparently, Chloe Driver was having phone sex with her boyfriend from the jail. Let's take a listen.
Which boyfriend? Because we just listened to 2 calls, 2 different men.
During the course of her trial, where the rest of us were dealing with the burden and weight of having to advocate on behalf of that child, she's going back to the jail every night and having phone sex with her boyfriend, talking about what size penis she likes, how she likes rough sex, how she wants to be treated like a rag doll, how she wants someone to ejaculate in her mouth. We are all having to watch people fall to pieces over that tape in this courtroom.
Yeah, this part was pretty sick. I want those phone calls.
And she goes back to the jail and can't wait to have phone sex.
Mr. Rose.
During trial, she said during trial. So, Deets, we need to FOIA that.
Rosenrock, what's your reaction to that?
I mean, it fits some of the worst character flaws that I know too well about Chloe. And, it's pretty disgusting. I mean, I share Katie's sentiment. If nothing else, it's kind of like I was hearing a little bit of that case you were doing earlier in the show where you're having technical issues. Obviously, completely different dynamic context of the term, but it's just bad optics. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to be like that depraved, don't be so stupid as to do it in a way that it can become public. I mean, it's nasty in and of itself. It shows, and it may indicate, at the very least, a lack of, a level of detachment from what's actually going on. And, even, without having had my recent, very particularly traumatically short stay, being in jail can do things to you. There are human urges. But, I mean, it's probably not a good thing.
Right. Mr. Rosenrock,
I don't
tell
really
me.
take a position on it.
Gotcha. Understood. And to be clear, that wasn't you on the phone with her, right?
No. She had decided to stop speaking to me, potentially based on his words to me in recent months because of Jonathan Kessler coming on the case in February of 2023, I believe was the last time we ever spoke.
Okay.
And because of certain changes, I believe she was using escapism to join the Jehovah's Witnesses. She was getting on medication again. She was going through one of these manic sort of, I'm going to reinvent myself.
Sure.
Like, I'm just saying, if I was going through a trial, I know it has been several years since she killed her daughter, but still, regardless, if I was going through the trial and having to relive these traumatic moments, right? I just can't imagine myself going back to the jail cell and getting off for the night until the next court day. I just can't.
Mr. Rosenrock, do you feel any sense of responsibility for
I do,
the deterioration of her mental health?
Oh, my daughter.
Well, that was going to be my next question. So let's take these in turn. Do you feel responsible for what happened to your daughter, Hannah?
She kept demonstrating in intervals complete sanity and stability.
Yeah, and when she tried to get away, you and Jason kept kidnapping her. I mean, it is what it is. You are absolutely partly responsible for your child's death.
And that's another big problem for me. And I'll come back real quick. Is that she was acting the entire time, and it's crystal clear to me that she is still acting, and I believe that Katie Crawford understands that. And it's like the way when you have a toddler and they bump themselves and stuff, that doesn't really hurt them, cry. And as soon as they feel validated, they stop. It was too much of a light switch that she could go back to complete sanity and stability.
That's what I'm saying.
That was also part of,
like, you just sit in that trial all day hearing about all this trauma you caused by killing your child, and then you're going back to the jail and getting it, rubbing one out, like the fuck. I could never.
You're connected to somebody and you believe in them and they're your human, which is why I brought up her having such an expansive time with me for a year and a half or whatever it was by herself. Like, she was like more mine. Even if you just take Anna, right? Anna came in, Chloe was there. Shaylee comes, Anna and Chloe are there. Chloe was like, in a way, had this stint where she was in a monogamous, effective relationship. She was, you believe in something. Especially when they do things, and you do things for them, and you get into this life context where, husband, wife, regular scenario, how you believe in each other on a baseline. And that made it really hard. I've been tapering back over the years. I didn't question that. It makes it hard, when they start acting erratically. You have to look back and realize in their heart and mind, they left the relationship at some point before. They're just there, but they're not who you believed they were. So in regards to responsibility for my daughter, it would have been, even though seeing her come back to crystal clear, regular life, I should have never left her alone with her that day. I wanted the other girls to get the rest. They were both driving vehicles. We were all pushing really hard to get this done. It was just a momentary lapse. Why did I let her go hang out by herself just because she was being pretty normal since we were in North Carolina the previous Thursday? That, or that I was kind of in such a OCD getting all of mine and Gabriella's stuff out of Jerry's basement that I just didn't ground myself for a minute and go, remember the conditions she's been going in and out of? Take the shirt, take the diaper, go upstairs and make sure she's okay. And it's just like total nonsense stuff like that. Like,
Sure.
As regards to her mental health and the question I apologize for interrupting you. You were really asking
No.
me
I
about
wanted
her
to ask
mental
you
health.
both of those. Yes, pertaining to Chloe's then.
No, I don't feel anything like that, Julie. She came and what she had was a lot of exuberance and, I don't know that she's ever been tested, but, and sometimes Jason Spillers makes me want to puke in my own mouth and not present my views on women very well, and he's very misogynistic. I believe that women actually have far more powerful minds than men, just they work in a different way, which is usually an intuition, and that Chloe had the ability to understand without having to go through the things that I shared with her. And so she came with a lot of exuberance to receive information like that, but she also had a lot of trauma that we didn't need to go into the weeds of.
Right. No, we're certainly aware. We heard a lot about her mental health through the trial.
So
we're out of time, so we really there's really not much more we can squeeze in. We're out of time, but I do want to say thank you.
Jesus Christ. I ain't never. Here he is on that panel. It's called Polly Pumpkin Patch.
And even after you don't have to, because you have to have a willingness in the being to be in satanic ritual abuse. They don't force anybody to do that.
Do they have a term for the ones who come into this realm who are somehow pre-programmed to never go with them? Like, do they have a word, a term, or a
they infidel?
Wow. So you're lacking in faith to their program process and procedure.
Yeah.
Why would you stray from that?
Why?
Well, that's a good question. Why would you and end up with the likes of Paul and Slave?
Because I have a heart that came in here to do a certain thing, and I'm here to do a certain thing under guidance from the Holy Spirit, and I've never cared. So, I mean, whatever. But if I were to eventually say what they did, even in my life, openly, I mean, anyway, they'll put you through this. You have
What
to.
did they do? I want to hear it, man. I want the details.
They killed a 13-month-old child of mine.
They killed a child of yours.
Effectively, when they told me in 2003, I had a guy. I was in California. It was a certain way this played out. That if you ever said this particular thing. So I was in Israel with all the big rabbis when I was much younger. I got shown certain things about the physiology of the human being and waking up. And I had a hunch about it. It was pretty clear in my early 20s. And then I ended up out in California with a guy. Very colorful way they do this stuff. The people who brought me out there, and the guy.
He thinks the entities did this.
I kind of putting the rest of the group that brought me out there in a trance, and then showing me an old book that he had. Very interesting story, very colorful. And in a way, he showed me, let me look at this book and see, yep, you're correct. And then he basically said, if you ever say this publicly, every secret society has already said, we'll kill you. And I have certain knowledge that may give me certain courage and strength to even do the no plates, lawful stuff. I know they can't touch me. I know they can't kill me for very particular reasons. And so I was like, as soon as I got an opportunity in 2015 to be in with some of these, Passio type circles on that alt media so-called circuit and find out what kind of cowards and losers they were, but to at least attempt to talk, I went on a certain broadcast back then. It was a medium-sized broadcast and said, but I wanted to do it correctly. So I spent 3 years just having a conversation really with the guy I was going to do it with. And then I said what needed to be said in 2015 about what's really the limitations of the pineal gland and all the stuff that's just really nonsense that they say. And then I said what really wakes up the human and where the soul really lives, which apparently you're not allowed to say at pain of death, which is the hippocampus, and what the hippocampus actually does. And I never concerned myself. In 2015, I said it. And then I noticed that people found the ability to talk about the hippocampus and stop making all this nonsense, exaggerated. I mean, the pineal gland's a cool thing, and it's an eye, and it's a piezoelectric crystal. It does that. It can look at stuff, but it has no power source. So once the mind knows something, you can activate something essentially to keep it simple. And I said that, and they said, this guy said what he said, and I didn't realize that 5 years later they'd kill my child because they can't touch me.
Oh,
How do you know
amen.
that they did it?
Thank you so much.
Well, they did it through the child's mother, but what it was years of
Please sure if you got one you think AMAC. Thank you for that, sweet girl.
of intruding, even with good leadership and effective people all around us and all the support that was given, they kept eroding her ability to make sense of things.
So the entities, because he talked about where the human soul resides, which is in the hippocampus, the entities, because he did that, because he talked about it publicly, decided to take a hold of Chloe and have Chloe kill his daughter.
So they'll find one way or
Just to sum it up, to make it easier.
another, even if you make sure you have a good
So you're
woman,
basically saying that the woman killed the child?
100%. Yep, she lost her
How
mind.
do you believe that they effectuated that?
A multitude of ways. I mean, if people saw everything that we listed and got down on paper, it would make that. I mean, it's not subjective stuff. I mean, it's outside the IQ level of most people to understand, but it's down to the point of having people in a. I mean, it's a long story, but everything we've parsed through as much of it as we possibly can, down to say, how is a shareable bit put? There's a particular house that my older daughter and her mother were staying at, and we had left a lot of stuff there. This is a few years later now. This group of us were coming back and just collecting my things. And a year earlier, we'd stopped in. There was a girl there. This girl we were attempting to help get out from a guy who was basically mentally loading her. So this guy is, I don't care about concealing any of these people. It's a young guy who lives in Tampa, is from Greensboro, North Carolina, named Johnny Silva III. And he was, in their world,
out here doxing folks. Jeez.
he was considered a prodigy. At 19, he was brought into the the Orders Templi Oriente, Crowley's group. And he was considered one of the youngest guys to...
Which is OTO for short, right?
He was one of the youngest guys to be allowed to go into the OTO. And by 24, they put him in the Asteris Agentum, which actually the patterning by Carl Jung. Carl Jung actually made the 12-step groups because Bill Wilson was actually seeing under an alias when you were talking about all the 12-step groups. Bill Wilson, the guy who allegedly is credited with founding the AA groups, was working with the Oxford group, and he was seeing Carl Jung to do the 13th step, which is recovery. And then he lies and says you're always an addict, but he actually himself recovered. But that's a whole different story. But they patterned the word AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, after Asteris Agentum, which is the highest level of Crowley's group. So this guy, Inbo Silva III, got in at 24, definitely the youngest guy who was ever inducted into the AA. And then, this guy sends this girl. So this is a period of us living there during a different lady and my older child were living there in.
Folks, potentially even including myself, but that they're not as effective as they could be because of either an alignment or a belief that affects the outcome of the
100%.
supposed. Okay.
So that's why you say, like, they could never bother me with it. Well, I mean, it's annoying. I have a very sensitive nervous system. I feel it constantly. I feel the intrusion, but it's not going to change who I am and what I do. It's not going to influence my decisions. I feel the presence of the intrusion. But if you take somebody, like this young lady who devoted her life to attempting to go around with me and help people share these kind of bits of information, and you constantly are pouring into people, giving energy and strength to people, and they don't reciprocate for their own selfish reasons, they can't get out of their own way and their own ego and enslave themselves and become what they're meant to become.
Mike is freaking out in the chat. He's saying, "Used what? Just say it. I'm so lost." So as the word goes, the word on the street for the longest time in many circles is there's certain microwave frequency energetic technologies that can implant voices, emotions.
That's way before that. I mean, that's back to Babylon and beyond. Because I mean, if you're going to deal with this from a mundane 3D, level of what you believe this reality is now, first of all, that's stupid. But second,
you guys think again to have the opposite position to one jurisdiction results. Those who have the Holy Spirit,
their parents, and they don't see themselves as equilateral, if not superior to them, by come back to yourself, reclaim yourself if you can, and you want to get to be the man standing yourself. And it's like the mafia. They feel like, hey, we gave you this. We moved you forward. You used it as a tool. Yeah, but you elected to use the tool. You work for us. You can see this play out if you really read between the lines of the good Echelon, Timothy Leary, and Terrence McKenna interview.
David has answers, and I'm not going to let you continue here. Getting high is poison in the mind. That's it. That's it. David's got answers. So again, there's no difference to me between people, places, and things and experiences. The same way someone will take a drug, ease their pain for a time, and be tested and challenged and be revealed to a new reality, is the same way that someone will use Jesus, because it's all the same,
mass.
Yeah, right. It's an experience that you have that leads you to seeking more truth, that leads you to revelations that God is with you all the time, and that's your greatest source of power, resource, right?
Whatever it is that you contracted and got small through, there's nothing that the actual volition and beingness can't conquer and come back to themselves. The question is, choices you make, consequences that come, how difficult is the obstacle to come back from? Do you have the volition to do it? But you can always make these, we're always making these trade-offs and trade-ons. If I want to use this way to wake up and that way to wake up, am I going to be able to come back to my genuine self after I go through? So, people who choose this path of using these chemicals, kind of like, it's like you're climbing the mountain and bouncing back and forth between certain principalities and powers. If I'm really here, and I may forget and go into sort of an amnesic phase, but I'm using these principalities and powers almost against themselves to wake up, the way the Kabbalion might say, you have to use this force against that force to come into yourself. The question is,
okay, with that, I'm over it. Over. Oh, I was going to show y'all this other clip. Look, let me show y'all this clip before we go. I'm over that, dude.
This is 7 News at 10. Now at 10, an inmate getting pregnant in jail without ever meeting the father.
She's a miracle baby. She's a blessing.
How could this happen?
Through the van.
Just one station with a bombshell behind bars.
Hello again, everyone. What happened inside a jail in South Florida made national headlines.
Now tonight, for the first time, we are hearing exclusively from both the mother and father. Investigative reporter Heather Walker is on the night team tonight. She's at the Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center in West Miami-Dade. Heather.
7 News broke this story back in January when the woman's family wanted to know how this could happen here. The DNA results are in, and the dad is another inmate.
Yeah, baby.
For the first time, Daisy Link is talking about how she became pregnant in jail. In an exclusive interview with 7 Investigates, the 29-year-old says even she can't believe it happened.
It's a real twist. It is. Everybody says it to me. This is like some Lifetime movie network.
Link is locked up awaiting trial, charged with second-degree murder. Police say this is Link holding a gun after shooting her boyfriend in the leg, killing him. She's been an inmate at TGK for more than
He'll be fine. She shot him in the leg, walked away, and said he'll be fine.
2 years. But in June, Link gave birth to this baby girl.
She's a miracle baby. She's a blessing.
A miracle, because Link says she's never met the father of her baby face to face.
I agree.
I've never met him. It's crazy.
This is super selfish. Like, you are setting that child up for failure, period.
He was also a TGK inmate and, like Link, is charged with murder. The DNA results show inmate number 200147865, Joanne DePaz, is the baby's father.
This call is from the Miami-Dade Metro West Detention Center.
So you guys have never physically touched each other?
Never. Like the Virgin Mary.
The big question here is, how did this happen?
Through the vent.
Don't do that to Mary, first off. Second off, through the vent. Yes, y'all heard that right. Through the vent.
Link says she and DePaz started talking through AC vents in their cells.
You would knock on it and you can hear the people from the different floors. You would stand on the toilet actually to be able to talk to them.
They say they also passed notes and pictures.
Being in isolation for so long, you begin to spend hours talking to this person. You know?
They are so
To the point where
proud.
It's almost
So
as
proud.
if you're in the same room with them.
This
Link and
reminds
DePaz
me of
formed a-
something some Wade wives would try to do. Like, the fuck out of here, bro. Like, getting pregnant, leaving the baby to be cared for by the family, the state, if the family can't. It's just so fucking disgusting.
A romantic relationship, and the 23-year-old shared his dream.
I always really wanted to have a baby, and I'm not going to get to do that for a really long time. So if I had to choose somebody, it would be you. And she was like, yeah, we could do that.
DePaz came up with a plan.
I'm not going to lie, it's going to go down in history.
I don't know what my fate is. You kind of don't know what yours. If we're going to go out, might as well just go out with a bang, If it works, it works. But it definitely did.
I told her a way that one of my friends had showed me through the vent, because the vent is like an L shape, really. It drops right into my vent. From her room, she could throw a pen into the vent, and it'll land right into my vent.
We have figured out a way to drop the line. It was a line that we had established out of like bedding material.
I put the semen in saran wrap every day, like 5 times a day.
Ew.
For like a month straight.
He would kind of like roll it up almost like a cigarette, and he would attach it to the line that we had in the vent, and I would pull it through. From there, I had placed it inside of it was the yeast infection, the yeast infection applicators. I had placed it inside of there, and then from there, I administered it.
She says it only took a few tries before she became pregnant.
I was very excited. I was ecstatic about it.
Is this possible?
Yes, that's a short answer.
Dr. Fernando Ackerman is
Yeah,
the medical
she did
director
earlier.
of the Fertility Center of Miami. He says the chances of this resulting in a successful pregnancy are slim, but not impossible.
We estimate that probably their chances were less than 5%, but that is not to say that the chances were 0. So this is absolutely a case that is exceedingly unusual. To my knowledge, I never heard or read anything like this.
On June 19th, the baby was born at Jackson Memorial Hospital.
I can't believe it worked. I think everything happened for a reason.
Over here, I'm like a celebrity.
Their baby is now 5 months old. She's living with his mom, who became a grandmother for the first time. Link and DePaz, who are now in different jails, still talk on the phone and see their daughter on video visits.
Now.
She could be anything. I think that she's going to be something great.
Let's hope, because her selfish mom and dad didn't consider what may happen in the sense of negative on her life, negativity put in her life. Sick fucks, man. Like, what is wrong with people? So, yeah, celebrities, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Jeez. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like or dislike, and replay crew, let me know how you feel about first the damn cult leader, and then secondly about this vent baby. I want to know what y'all think. I want to know what y'all think. It's a precious baby girl, but let me know. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for the love and support, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Bye.
If you ever feel lost or caught in a bind, just think of Jones and you'll surely find that the simple life's the one that's truly free. In a hippie hut, just like Jones and you see.